What's going on YouTube? It's Tuesday and that means it's time for another What Sold video. Except this video almost didn't happen. Up until Thursday, sales were horrible. I mean, I seriously sold like 4 things all week and they were nothing to write home about. Definitely nothing worth making a video over. But I did something about it. Let me show you what I did. Basically, I did the whole end and relist thing. I chose one category in my store, which was clothing in this case, and that was over 300 items. I ended all the items in that category, went to the ended listings page, relisted, and when I relisted, I did a 3% promotion, and that really seemed to set things off. I had offers within 10 minutes and sales within an hour, and it turned out to be a pretty decent week. So here's the top items I sold this past week. So these are kind of something to be on the lookout for. These are counted cross stitch kits. They're both sealed. If you find them sealed, you definitely want to look them up. This is a fish one and this is a butterfly one. Paid $2 for them and they sold for $29.99 on eBay. Not a huge sale, but they're easy to ship, easy to store. So if they take a while to sell, they're not taking a whole lot of room, so it's not that big of a deal. And you really want to be on the lookout for the Christmas ones. Some of those can go for some crazy money. I'll throw some comps up here. I'm always on the lookout for decent baseball gloves, and I never find them. As a matter of fact, I didn't even find this one. My wife did. We were at Goodwill. She spotted this, grabbed it, brought it to me. We looked it up, and it's a Mizuno first baseman's mitt. Paid $4 for it, and it sold for $40. Not a huge sale, but the first decent baseball glove we found in forever. So I love finding these things. This is a LL Bean boat and tote bag. You can see the label on the inside there. The older they are, the more money you get for them. Typically the older ones have a green stitching on the side and they're really stiff and heavy bag. This one's got somebody's name sewn on it. It's got some stains, some rubbing on the bottom. No rips or tears or anything, but even with all those defects, it still sold for $39.99. I believe I paid $2 for it from a yard sale. So doing this whole reseller thing, you definitely learn a lot. You have to research the items you sell, and if you're like me, you kind of go down a rabbit hole and maybe learn more than you need to. Case in point, field hockey. I've never known anybody that played field hockey. I've never seen a match, but when I found a big bag full of field hockey stuff at Goodwill, I picked it up for 22 bucks, and I learned a lot about field hockey. I've sold a bunch of that stuff out of it, definitely in the profits now, and I just sold this field hockey stick. Before I wouldn't even know what that is, but this is a STX brand stick. It's a decent brand. Picked this up for, like I said, $22 for a whole bag of stuff, so I've probably got nothing in this now since I'm in the profit, and it sold for $37.
Left hand side from Victoria Granata. Now she finds a way into the circle, still going and scores.
This is a new one for me. It's a little slim cooler. That's actually what it's called, the slim cooler. Got a shoulder strap and everything. Thought it was kind of neat. I saw it sitting outside of a thrift store. They only wanted $5 for it, so I decided to look it up. Sell-through rate was really good. There was like 5 listed and 9 had sold. Prices they were bringing kind of blew me away. I listed this one. It's January, so I wouldn't think a cooler would be a hot seller, no pun intended. But it sold within a week for 60 bucks. You guys may get tired of me talking about golf clubs, but this is a brand you need to know. This is Odyssey. This is an Odyssey 2-ball SRT putter. And it's in bad condition. I mean, it's missing paint. It's chewed up on the edges here. Got some scratches on the front. The grip is bad, needs to be replaced. I almost didn't list it, but I found it in a bag full of clubs. Didn't really expect it, so I don't really have any cost in it. And it sold for 50 bucks. If you're afraid of electronics, VCRs are really kind of a good way to start. These Sony VCRs sell really quick. I paid $7 for this one and it sold for $64, but they're also really easy to test. I mean, you hook them up to your TV, you put a tape in, play it, fast forward, reverse, eject. If all that works, typically you're good to go. So I would say don't be too afraid of electronics. These are real easy. I didn't know that these NASCAR racing jackets are still a thing, but apparently they are. Saw this one sitting at Goodwill, decided to look it up. It's in decent condition, does have some rubbing on the front. It's a Lowe's Racing Jimmy Johnson jacket, but looked it up while I was at Goodwill, had some decent comps, and the price it was bringing was pretty good too. So I paid $8.75 for it, and it sold in like 2 weeks for $89.50. The cool thing is it's actually going to a FPO. If you don't know, that's a military post office. And when I saw this address, it actually had a ship attached. It's going to the USS Pioneer. So I decided to look it up. It's actually a minesweeper and destroyer based in Japan. It's a ship that goes out and looks for mines and blows them up. So definitely pretty cool. This is a cool sale because it was kind of a surprise. Normally I don't pick up Top Flight XL stuff. They're kind of a generic brand, don't have a really good resale value, or so I thought. These were in a bag at a garage sale. Lady only wanted $10 for the whole bag, and there was a driver in there that I really wanted. I actually ended up selling the driver for over $100, so these are definitely paid for. Bag wasn't any good, so I pulled these out. Was actually keeping them around the house. Thought maybe my wife would pick up golf, but don't think she's interested, and I get it. That's okay. But I listed them, and they actually sold for $100, so I'm going to be on the lookout for these again. This is probably the cleanest set of kids golf clubs that I've ever found. I mean, you can see how nice a condition these are in. The hybrids are actually still wrapped in plastic, so they're brand new. Paid $23 for the whole set. The bonus here is that they're left-handed. Left-handed clubs tend to command a higher price. This is a set of Max Fly Varsity. You can see the label there. But I paid $23 for them from a thrift store, and they sold in a couple of weeks for $159.99. Next sale, I'm kind of sad to see this item go, but let me give you a little bit of a history. Random stop, hometown Salvation Army, on the way to pick up our kids from the grandparents. Ran in, there was a box of Sega games with the Sega sitting inside, and they only wanted 20 bucks. I grabbed it. Sold Castlevania Bloodlines out of there for $259. So definitely everything's paid for. And then I just sold this guy, Valis 3. Buyer paid $142 plus shipping on Mercari. And I'm kind of sad to see it go because it's been sitting on my shelf for a while now. But I'll take the $142. Last sale for the week, and it's a really good one. Let me show you. It's right over here. This is a Harley Davidson leather jacket, and it is the real deal. It's super heavy, has a zip out liner, and comps on these are like $200, $250, but I had the only 3XL on eBay. So I listed it super high. I listed it for $320, and it took a while and a bunch of lowball offers, but finally the right buyer came along, offered me $280. I took it. Got like $40 into it. It was in a big bundle of stuff I got at a garage sale.